So, you guys have been hearing me talk about doing a project for quite a while. I always say, I got a project going on or whatever, and I've never really said what it is. But I showed you the paint and stuff that I bought a while back in a haul video. And then I showed you that I had bought two of the 83 GMC Sierra pickups from Greenlight, or 83 I guess it is, and then I bought a 81 Blazer from Greenlight for I'm gonna use the grill and I think just the front bumper off of it, so I'm not really hurting either one of the vehicles because the grill from the truck is going into the Blazer, but so I already have the truck in the paint stripper, so I guess I won't show you me taking it apart. I can show you me taking the Blazer apart though. So there's not really any point in me opening up the Blazer, I guess, until I have to. I've already opened it up because I stole a different the spare tire rack off of it for a different truck, but or I tried to, but it didn't work right. But I talked in a different video about the wheels and tires on the Auto World trucks being interchangeable with the wheels and tires on the Greenlight trucks, and so I'm just gonna show you here what I was talking about. Okay, so probably something you didn't know about Auto World axles is that the wheels are threaded onto the axle. If the camera will focus on the axle. Nope. You can see it's textured, but they're all textured. Keeps wanting to focus on my hand. If I take my hand away, it still doesn't want to focus. Anyway, these axles are threaded, and you have to turn the wheels to get them off, just like a screw. They don't pull off like the Greenlight wheels. So what I want on this truck is I want these wheels from Auto World, and I want these Goodyear Eagle tires from Greenlight. So what I do, and this would have been easier to do when they were on the truck. Yeah, this would have been easier to do on the truck, but what I do is I press down and I pull the tire off, and then I put the tire on the wheel. Kind of got to work it on there a little bit. But they do fit. So the Greenlight tires do fit on the Auto World wheels, which is good because that's what I want. Alright, so I've almost got all the wheels set up. This is what they're going to look like with your Goodyear tire on your Chevy wheel there. Just a different type of Chevy wheel. These are what they call rally wheels, versus these are just the normal steel wheels with the dog dish hub in them. So I noticed the Auto World tires are a lot easier to work with. The Greenlight tires are kind of hard. But then again, the Greenlight wheels are a lot easier to work with than the Auto World wheels because the Auto World wheels are threaded onto these axles. So I'll put this truck back together and get it out of the way. So we got our wheels back on here. They look good. They roll good. And we'll put those in there with the axles for the Greenlight. The axles do not interchange, but the wheels and tires do. So makes it nice to work with them, that's for sure. So I can move that. I mentioned the blazer, which I said I already opened. Now this one's going to be harder for me to take apart because I got to put padding around the vise so that I don't tear up the paint on it, because this one, the only reason I have to take it apart is I need to get this grill and the front bumper, and I have to take it apart to do that. And the little bitty rivets that's in here also make it a pain in the butt. So we're gonna do the best we can here. The blazer apart here, and like I said, all I need is the grill and the front bumper. And I may end up not using the front bumper off of this one, but I think I will. So I'm gonna take it off. I know I'm using the back bumper off the truck. So what I do to get these off, I'm trying to show you and still enable me to do it, and it's not working very well. So what I do to get these off is I just kind of start prying on the plastic heads that are on there, and sometimes that's kind of a problem. Sometimes they really don't want to come off there. And then once you get them down to where you can tell that they're just round, then you just push on them and they generally they pop out. Well, or that one just popped out on its own. I try to push them from the back so I don't break the tabs though. Or just pull them. Because see, they're a lot harder to put the bumpers back on if you break those tabs off. So I think we are going to use that, so I will put that in the truck box. And then the grill, you just do the same thing with it. Oh, sorry. I can't look through the camera and do this, so I'm trying to show you what's going on, but still be able to do what I need to do. So see, that one, that little one there is gone. Now we're going to get rid of this big head on this one. Okay, see, now that one's gone. So now you just kind of push there and push there. I'm just pushing with the corners of my screwdriver. And the grill's free now, and it just pops out. And then I'm gonna put the GMC grill in here. I should probably actually glue that in, so I'm not gonna put it in yet. But the GMC grill and the bumper are going in the blazer, so I guess the blazer will get turned into a Jimmy. But regardless, it doesn't say Blazer, or it doesn't say Chevrolet anywhere on it. That's one of my things with this truck, is the windshield says GMC Trucks at the top. But I had to use that truck because of the tires that was on it, and then the fact that when I bought the truck, it was the first square body truck that Greenlight come out with, was the truck that I used. So I didn't have a whole lot of options that I do now, because they've come out with a bunch of them since then. But I did not realize that. I didn't know how long it was going to be before they came out with another one. And I already bought this one for this project, so whatever. Now I gotta get my glue. I hate using the liquid glue, but I'm out of my gel. I'm completely out of gel glue, so kind of put a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't all shoot out on me. Put a little bit there, just for good measure. Put a little bit across there. Put some in there. I've never done this before, so hopefully this thing goes in here alright. Yeah, see, and it goes in there just fine. Same thing with the bumper. Put a little extra glue across the front of it, because those bumpers sometimes like to pop off. And there we go. And because that glue is kind of, it fogs up sometimes, gets kind of foggy, I'm going to try to remove all of the extra glue from that may have squished up between them when I put them together. So there you go. I actually think it looks better like that. Granted, it has an Indy 500 license plate on it, but it's okay. You can be an Indy fan. So I'm just gonna set those there and let them glue back together. Actually, I'm gonna set all the Blazer stuff on the Blazer package and just push it up there. And I got to thinking last night, probably just go ahead and open my primer since I'm gonna need that later on. Put my glue away. And something about this grill that Greenlight doesn't really do. See, this is my favorite grill of the 80s square body trucks. This is the custom Deluxe grill with the lights in the like just the single headlights, and then the extra grill piece that comes out down here. This would be the early 80s. This, obviously, the Blazer's at 81. But one thing Greenlight doesn't do is they don't paint that bow tie on there. And I don't have the gold marker open, but I do have a yellow one, and I have one of these trucks already, and the yellow looks fine, so I just go ahead and paint it yellow. So, get my paint flowing here. And there we go. Got our bow tie painted on there. The other one, the lights were kind of silvery. I had to paint the lights on it. This one, they look okay. My cap gun. So we've got our truck in the paint stripper here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the pump for the sink, so it's going to get kind of loud, but just bear with me. Try to get as much stripper out of the truck as I can. Got our trusty toothbrush here. Okay, so had the gloves on because the paint stripper kind of burns when you get it on your fingers. And I washed off the toothbrush, and probably wash those off. And then I didn't mean to wash this off, I just dropped it in there. So gotta dry my stuff off, then we'll be back inside. So it's interesting when the paint stripper gets on stuff like the toothbrush, because it's plastic, that of course it eats it up. But the interesting thing is that it also makes it sticky for a time, even after you wash the paint stripper off. Like you can see my fingerprints in where the paint stripper was eating away at the plastic on this toothbrush. I find that kind of interesting. I'd like to see the science behind why that's sticky. But here is the truck cab, and surprisingly, for just opening this truck up, I can tell just by looking at it right away, it definitely needs wire wheeled before I do anything with it. So that's probably what we'll do next. And I'm really hoping, because of course I gotta put the primer on it first, but I'm hoping that I can paint it and primer it and everything without taking that hood off. Because you can see it's just mushroomed on there, but I'd rather not have to, take it off. I do need to get that little piece off of the A-pillar though, and I forgot to do that. Does this still have... No, it doesn't. So like I said, it definitely needs wire wheeled, but I got a good majority of the paint off of the truck, so I'm happy. So there's the truck, and then the bed, as I suspected, some would still be in the corners. And it doesn't really look like paint. It's almost, I'm thinking maybe it's some kind of primer that they use in the factory, because that's not the white paint. That's like almost looks like some kind of residue. That's why I say it's probably the primer they use in the factory. So hopefully when I wire wheel this, it looks better, looks suitable to paint. Now Greenlight, their materials are softer than what Hot Wheels uses, so I gotta be careful when I wire wheel it that I don't stay in one place for too long getting at the paint, or I'll make little gashes in it. That's something I've noticed about Greenlight, having made a few customs with a few of different models of theirs, or if you compare their products to, say, Hot Wheels, or even some of the higher end brands like M2 or Auto World, Greenlight's products are just softer material, and so if you jab something with them, like right there, I think that's probably when I dropped it in the water. Kind of see that gash in the bed there from the pliers. So that's not a super great thing when you're working with these little trucks. But hopefully I'm done with that, but I'm not going to put it away yet, just in case. Well, I won't put it in there because I've about busted the light bar off. But hopefully when everything goes back together, it looks good. And then I took some rubbing alcohol and rubbed off the letters on the windshield, which I liked that it said GMC trucks, except I put in a Chevy grill in it, and it'd look funny if it said GMC trucks and it was a Chevrolet. And at first I thought, well, I could try to just get rid of this C, and it would just say GM trucks. That's a pretty broad, spectrum, I guess. but when I did that, I realized how easy the letters came off with the rubbing alcohol, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this right if I'm gonna put forth the effort. So our tires look good, and all the parts in here are ready. I do have to figure out how the interior goes together. It looks like it folds down like the old Mattel, not Mattel, old Lesney parts, but I gotta find out because I gotta paint it, because it's not gonna be white. It's gonna be a kind of a saddle color, saddle brown color. I forget exactly what GM called it, but that is the basic name for that color, would be saddle brown. So as small as Greenlight makes their little mushroom posts, they're really hard to drill and tap. This front one I think I'd be able to, but that back one I think I used to just use the super glue that I use, but even though that works really well, Tamiya has some putty that works even better for bonding, that sort of thing. So from what I've heard on the internet, on YouTube, this stuff works really well, so I bought a can of it. Their putty works good, so hopefully their primer works just as well. And then I'm gonna go with the Summer Squash Yellow from Rust-Oleum, and then our white is just gonna be basic gloss white Krylon paint. So that's what we're gonna do hopefully in the near future. I'm still not sure about the white front bumper for this truck. I may paint it chrome, or see if the reason I didn't use the one that came on it was because I didn't I like the push bars on these bumpers usually, but that wasn't the look I was going for, so I couldn't use that bumper. So I think I have an extra one without, I think I have an extra one without push bars on it. So I may have to use that. So thus far into the project, I have the bed and the cab taped off for the white paint. And better grab the chassis here and make sure that I have everything lined up. Since I had some trouble with the tape, there's a possibility that's the front of it. Not sure why. There we go. I didn't want to scratch it. Alright, with our tape on here, not everything's gonna fit quite as properly as I need it to do this, and I don't want to chip the paint because you can see I've chipped the cab already. Yeah, with the tape nothing's really gonna line up quite correctly. I don't want to paint it and then realize that it's not gonna line up right. It looks like it should line up on that side anyway. See with this stupid thing there, I can't really see if they're lined up right. I guess, like everything else that I've done with this project, I will wait and see how it comes out. I probably won't buy any more of that primer, because I had the same issue with it chipping as I did before I used that primer. So when I'm out of the Tamiya primer, I'm just not going to use it anymore, because I'm tired of working on stuff and then the paint chips off of it. I've even used high quality paint like Dupli-Color paint that you would use for a car, and that's the worst chipping stuff I've ever had. So I guess I'm just gonna spray the white and hope everything's right, because if it's not right, I'm not painting this again. Alright, so back from being painted. It's not as nice of a paint job as I've done with most things in the past, but I'm so sick of painting it that at this point, I really don't care. I just want to get this thing done. So we're going to untape it now and see how it came out. Hopefully the paint did what it was supposed to. The paint didn't really do exactly what I wanted it to, but hey, that's okay. As long as the tape blocked off the paint where it was supposed to, we're gonna be okay. This is gonna take a while to take off, I think, because this paint is quite thick. And it was thick for a couple reasons. It's thick because, well, it's Krylon paint. Krylon is just thicker paint for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But it's not just because I use Krylon. See, I'm worried. See how that kind of tore off some paint around there? I'm hoping that it doesn't do that on the painted sections, like where it's supposed to I'm supposed to have a solid line, I'm hoping that it doesn't flake off there. I didn't use any Dupli-Color paint this time, because I've never ever have had luck with that. It chips really easy, so I just didn't do that. So far it looks like our at least the top layer, the top of the truck came out okay. I have not clear coated this yet, which may be the fatal flaw when we're pulling the tape off of here. Man, I really taped this thing good. I'm going to pause the video and figure out how to continue untaping this. Alright, so thus far into untaping everything, I must say I'm quite happy with how most everything sealed up. There's a spot right here that oh, you can't see it, there you go, that there's a chip in the paint there. And the paint can broke that this yellow paint was in. It's still got a lot of paint in it, but the nozzle on the can broke. So I'm going to see if I can't get a little bit of that paint to drip out of there, and I'll touch that up, I guess. Or I can figure out something. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, this isn't a job that has to be perfect. This is my first time doing any two-tone paint job. So it was kind of a learning experience for me, and it's a good thing that this tape seals up really good, because my next project I'm gonna do, it will probably be another two-tone thing. I don't know which one I'm gonna do. I'll pull out some cars that I have planned out to do. I have a whole drawer full of cars that I have plans for, and I've drawn up what they're gonna look like. So got a little bubbling along here, which looks really bad. The top came out really nice though. And this side, this is how the whole thing was supposed to look. Just nice and smooth. No issues. We didn't really get that on the whole thing. But like I said, it's okay. The bed, the white just didn't lay right. But I painted this truck about 4 times before I was able to even get to the two-tone thing. I had to strip the truck twice. Once with the primer because the primer didn't lay right. I had to strip it twice because the yellow paint didn't lay right. Then come to find out the nozzle was screwed up on the yellow paint. And that's why it didn't lay right. So I took the first can back and got a different one, because the nozzle was broke. And the second one lasted longer, but the nozzle still gave me troubles. And it didn't break, it just kind of started leaking. I guess in a way it did break, but not like the other one did. Alright, so far I'm happy with at least how the tape sealed up. I wasn't sure what we were gonna expect. I wasn't sure what to expect out of the tape on the bed because I had a hard time taping it up right. So far, the bed has come out pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. And like I said, it doesn't have to look perfect. Hey, look, all the tape's off. I'm not worried about the funny shaped tape spots inside, or spots from the tape, because the interior has sides on it, door panels. So yeah, it came out good. So I can microfiber rag and wipe my greasy fingerprints off of it. And looks like there's some tape residue on here. I don't know how to get that off. Because without a clear coat, I don't want to rub on this too much. But so far, it looks pretty good. Now again, not great. Doesn't have to be great. Just has to look good at a distance. I gave up on trying to get it perfect because every time I did something with it, it wouldn't lay right. Alright, so our moment of truth here. Did I tape everything up correctly? Will it fit together on the chassis? I don't want to chip anything. That thick paint makes this body fit on here different. And I would love to not chip anything. There we go. Well, we're getting there. We're on there enough to test it. It's not on there completely, but I don't want to chip anything. I forgot how tightly this fits together. Come off of there, and don't chip my paint. Don't chip the paint. I did that off camera so I wouldn't tear up anything. Alright. We can see if it lines up, I guess, without putting it on there. Nothing's fitting together, right? Because that tape is so thick, or that paint is so thick. I knew it wasn't going to line up. This side looks like it'll line up. It's not on there all the way. Alright, it'll line up. So, there's a couple other things that I probably haven't mentioned yet, because I was still debating on it. The back bumper is going to be white. See, the bumper that was on it, I think this is the back bumper from that truck. You can see it's got a diamond plate bumper on it. The Blazer that I took this front bumper off of, I don't know if I showed that in the video or not, but I took the grill that's going in this truck, came out of a Blazer. The grill came out of a Blazer. The tires came off of this truck, but the wheels came off of a different truck, which I showed. Everything else is from this truck. The trailer hitch came off of a Nissan Titan. The original trailer hitch I had for it came off of Ford, and Greenlight has a couple different ways that their hitches attach to the vehicles, and the Ford attaches differently than the Chevys do, so I had to find a different hitch, and I found a Nissan that gave up its hitch. So got the diamond plate bumper here versus the other bumper's not really a step bumper. It's kind of more of a rounded bumper. So that's why I am choosing this one, because it has the diamond plate on it. So this is the original bumper from the truck. This bumper is from a Chevy Blazer, same one that the grill came from. The grill and front bumper that came off of this truck went on to that Blazer, so I actually didn't part out anything. I actually still have two complete vehicles. They just have some different parts on. Now this is already white, but I'm gonna paint it white so that it's the same glossy white that everything else will be. And I'm gonna try to paint the hitch white as well. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it out, because I kind of scuffed up the silver when I was, not so much up here, doesn't matter, but down here when I was taking it off the truck. So just some little added things that I hadn't really decided yet. I wasn't even sure if I was putting a white front bumper on it, but I put it on after I peeled all the paint off, and I thought it looked okay, so that's what we're going to do. It's got our little pieces in here to be painted white, and then I have the truck. I don't have it with me right now. I have the truck to put a clear coat on, and then we can be putting everything back together, and I will finally be done with this project. And I'm glad that I know that this tape works good, because the next project is gonna, I think that my next project is gonna be more of a challenge with, it's going to have a couple different colors on it, so I'm going to have to tape it off really good. And I don't know if that's going to be the next thing I do. I may wait and do something easy, just to kind of give me a break. Okay, I'm so happy we're finally done with this project. I don't know what this extra bag was for, but I've never been happier. Well, I'm not done with it yet. I gotta put the truck back together. I think it's in this drawer here. Yes, it is. Alright, so I guess I'm not done with it yet, because I gotta put it back together. But I'll tell you right now, I have never ever been happier to finish up a project in my life. This one has given me some troubles. It's fought me the whole way. First, the yellow. The paint can that I got, the nozzle was messed up on, so it didn't spray out of the nozzle right. So it laid very textured, felt like sandpaper. Well, that meant I had to strip it down again because it didn't lay right. I couldn't sand it, I had to strip it down. So it has as it sits, it has 2 coats of primer, 3 coats of yellow, and 2 coats of white, and then 4 coats of matte clear coat. And the reason I did 4 coats was because I did 2 coats. I generally will do 3 if the paint doesn't always lay right, and on this one you can see it didn't quite lay exactly right. So when the paint doesn't lay right, I try to do 3 coats of it. Well, I had 2 coats on, and guess what I forgot to do? Paint the tail lights. I didn't paint the tail lights on here. So I had to go back and paint also did the turn signals on the sides here. And I still need to do the turn signals in the bumper on the 81, 82. May have done it in 83 as well. The Chevy trucks, the turn signals were in the bumper. Which I have the correct bumper here. Looks like maybe that paint didn't lay good on the bumpers. It looked okay when I put it in the bag. No, it didn't. That crappy Krylon paint. I'll never buy Krylon paint again. This white on here is Krylon paint. And I put 3 different types of clear coat. You can see underneath here. I tried... first, what I had on hand was the Rust-Oleum clear coat. So, sprayed that on the bottom to make sure that it worked. Well, no, I didn't. I started spraying it on here, and it wrinkled up all this paint here, which you won't see this part anyway. Luckily, I did it in a spot where you won't see it, but it wrinkled it up. So, what I do next? Tried, I think my dad had some Dupli-Color. So, I don't like Dupli-Color. I think it chips really easy, but I tried it. It didn't work. It wrinkled it up. Used VHT, which is a heat paint clear coat, for like an engine. My grandpa had some of that, and it wrinkled it up. So I thought, I'm gonna go about this the only logical way I can come up with. If nothing else works on the white Krylon paint, I'm gonna buy Krylon clear coat. Well, it took me a long time to find it because they said they had it at Walmart and they didn't have it. At either one of the Walmarts, they didn't have it. They didn't have it at Logansport or Kokomo. And it said on the website that they had it at both of them. Truck beds are hard to paint, just for the simple fact that trying to get it in the corners, you can see a lot of the paint kind of gathered in the middle there. It's not actually, it looks kind of glossy on the camera here. It's got a pretty matte, or at least I'd say a satin clear coat on it. The paint didn't lay very good, but I've had it with this. I'm putting it back together and I'm being done with it. If I really think the bumpers need repainted, I can repaint them, but I don't think I'm going to do that. The interior here on these, I hand painted the interior on these Chevy trucks. The glove box matches the exterior color of the truck, so it's painted yellow. Got the little emblem in the center of the steering wheel chromed. Got the door handles and the window crank chromed. Got the, it's going to be dark, you can't really see. I painted the pedals in there. And so I'll have to fold this back up before I put it together. We have our grill there, which I painted the, have the grill, which I painted the bow tie yellow. You saw me do the tires already. Got that, and the windshield. Which, since this started out as a Chevrolet, I had to get rid of the banner going across the top of the windshield that said Chevrolet, or no, it said GMC trucks on it. Which, if I was doing a GMC, would be okay. But this is a Chevrolet. Although the base will still tell you it's an 83 GMC Sierra. This truck is now an 82 Chevrolet Custom Deluxe. This is the trailer hitch. There's two types of trailer hitches that Greenlight makes. One goes in long ways and one goes in the other way. The Chevy GMC trucks take the one that goes across the top, not the one that goes long ways. So this ended up not working. I believe this is from a Ford and this is from a Nissan. So I will put this, for now, I'm going to put it in a drawer. That's not where it's going to stay. It's going to go in a little, probably one of these little baggies, so don't lose it. But anyway, let's start putting this thing back together. I really haven't filmed very much of me doing this truck. I haven't filmed painting it or anything. So I guess before we do anything here, we can go ahead and put these wheels back on here. I don't think it really matters which ones go where. This has taken me pretty much all summer to do this, for the simple fact that I did it at my grandpa's because my grandpa has an air-conditioned barn, so the weather's not much of my concern if I do it in the air conditioning. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Alright. Moment of truth here. With all that paint on there, does everything still fit? Aha, yes it does. So we have our grill in there now. Put the windows, put the windows back in there. I'm gonna move this back. I thought I could do it, put the camera to the side, but there we go. Snaps right back in place. Now this is hard because there's a lot of testers paint some extra paint, I should say, that is keeping this from wanting to go back together here. So I'll probably shut the camera off for this because I'm gonna fight this and I don't want to tear anything up, working around the camera, because the camera is between my arms here, sitting on the table. So I'm gonna come back to you once I put this in. Since I'll have the camera off, I'll probably paint the turn signals in this. And then we'll keep going from there. Okay, so you see we have the lights painted in there. I can pull my camera off of my little rug here. I got the interior in there. It looks really nice. Let me get a light so you can see in here. Got the tan interior in there, camel interior. I forget what Chevy called that factory color. I knew that when I started this project. I've just forgotten. You can see the yellow glove box. You can also see all the imperfections in the plastic when there's a light on it. Alright, that's definitely the front. Now, like I said, with all of the paint on here, it's going to fit just a tad bit tighter than what it did before. But already, that looks great. Now, hopefully we don't chip the corners of the bed or the truck when we put these back together. That happened on the test fit. I'm sure you guys saw that on there. That made me sick. If I chip it now, it's just out of luck. Because... we are having some troubles here. Let me do this off camera, because I don't want to tear up anything. So it's not on there perfect, but let me tell you, it was a job getting it on this far. So it's all the body lines are matching up as good as they're going to match up. So with the little tiny bit of glue that I have left, I had to fix a candle holder, so I barely have any glue left. But what little glue I have left is going to go towards putting these bumpers on here, which I know they fit on here with the trailer hitch because I test fit everything, and at that time they fit. So there's no reason why they shouldn't fit now, because the truck was already painted then. There we go. Wow. And that right there is why I needed the long trailer hitch. Yeah, I did take the wheels off, as you probably noticed by now. Little bit, nope. Just a little dab of glue there. Little dab of glue there. Alright, we have way too much on that side. Even with the gel glue, that's a little bit excessive. You can still make a mess with the gel glue, trust me. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I test fit these bumpers after I painted the bumpers. The truck was painted. The bumpers weren't painted when I test fit everything. That's why everything is fighting me so much going back on here. Alright, so there it is. I glued myself to the truck. So I'm going to clean this truck up a little bit and put the wheels on it, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, final project here. It's all cleaned up. Got all my dirty, nasty fingerprints off of it for the most part. Not everything matches up quite right. Like I said, this is the first big project that I've done. And for the first one, I think it came out fairly well. normally whatever I do doesn't really come out too great. Especially with this being two parts. This side got lined up really good. The other side didn't line up so well. But then there's the back of it there with the trailer hitch. Trailer hitch is a little off center, but it's more centered than some of the Greenlight trucks that I get. It's pretty even up here. It's a little bit off on this side. It should come down a little bit more like on the passenger side. But for the first project that I've done like this, I think it's pretty good. I don't see a lot of people, I see a lot of people do like Matchbox customs and stuff. I don't see a lot of people doing a Greenlight one, and which surprised me because Greenlight has some really good castings like these square body Chevys here. Yeah, you see them on eBay and stuff, but like you don't see them on YouTube, like the actual project. And I know I didn't show me painting this. I just showed before paint and after paint and all that. Let me get the truck that this started out as, because I don't think I ever showed that. I have two of them, so here we go. When this casting came out, this was it was a pretty new casting when this variation came out. So I was very limited to what trucks I had. They hadn't come out with that brown one yet. There weren't very many plain ones out when this Indy hauler truck came out. That's what it says on the side. Normally I wouldn't have used a Indy 500 truck, but they were on sale at the gift shop. So, and I think we just went to the museum that day. I don't remember. Anyway, there was one day I got like 3 of these trucks. This is one of them. This is another one. There's probably one hanging on the wall. I really like this casting. And so you can see it started out. You can see it's... Oh, we got glue on the tire. We don't want that. That'll make it roll funny. Yep, there we go. Okay. You saw me switch the wheels and keep the old tires. The grill and front bumper are completely different. You saw these came out of the bumper and grill came out of a Blazer. Back bumper, I believe, back bumper is the same. I added the trailer hitch. There's a notch cut out in the back on both of them, as you can see. I'm pointing to this one. I just have the one on the left in my hand here. And then you can see the banner at the top that says GMC Trucks. That came off with rubbing alcohol. So, pretty excited that this is done because it took a long time. I don't know if it necessarily came out as good as I wanted it to, but it's done. I'm going to put it on the turntable for you guys, and then it's going to go where it needs to go, and I can check this off my list of things to do. And I might give you a sneak peek of what my next project is going to be. If this took all summer, this next project, oh man, it's going to take like the rest of the year. But anyway, got this done. The before and the after. I think my camera's glued to the paper towel now. So, like I said, I'll put this on the turntable. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Have a great day. I'll catch you in the next video. And tell me how you think I did on this. This is my first big project that I've done. I know the taillights aren't exactly same size. This one, I'll be honest, the marker ran out of paint. And I was ready to be done with this project. So I just went ahead and clear coated it and said that's it. So there you go. Sneak peek of the next project. This is not going to be anywhere close to looking like a race car by the time that we're done with it. So don't expect this video anytime soon, because this might be done by December. But here it is.